Hi guys, it's Colette. Welcome to a wee coffee and chat. I don't think it will be a big one today because I'm a wee bit tired, but if you want to get a wee coffee and a tea, then on you go. Even a biscuit, who knows. Before I start, I'd like to welcome any newbies. We've had new subscribers over the last 6 weeks or so, which has been lovely. You're welcome. These coffee and chats are about more me and my family and personal beliefs and stuff like that. So if you're not interested in that, that's fine. It's on a playlist, so if you don't want to watch these, then that's fine. I think there's another 500 videos on the channel that you can watch instead. But for those of us that have a kind of fortnightly coffee and catch up, it allows me to see what's going on, and then it allows me to see how you are doing as well, getting to know a lot of you very well and can remember what's happening in your lives and what help you may need, or if it's just even a wee hand of friendship. And the joy is that you're all interacting with one another as well. So I think we've got one of the most welcoming channels on YouTube. I really do. I think the energies are fantastic with it, and I thank you all for that. And before I start, I'd like to say thank you to the people that have bought wee coffees. That's the link in the description box below that you can go into, and it can get a $3 or a £3 coffee, and it supports your people that are making videos or other creative things, and buys them a wee coffee. So it's a nice way of doing it without spending too much money, and that's quite close to my heart. So the last few weeks, January through, I want to thank Gail, Claire, Candice, Pat, Anonymous, Bradley, Nicole, Mary, Jerry and Alison. Thank you so much for your coffees. They've been very, very helpful, and I'm very happy that it's not just when people buy the wee coffees, they always put a wee comment with it, and the wee comments are lovely. It's like, oh, I'm enjoying this and thanks for everything you do. It's so heartening, it's like, oh, I got a wee comment, and it's separate because the comments on it are great, but when somebody's actually gone to a different site and put something in it, it's like an extra wee cuddle. So thank you for the comments. Now, where am I? We've got snow and heavy winds outside, but when I'm filming this, but that's fine because we're cosy in the cottage. I've kind of been late with weekly tarot card, and I've not done too much this week, and the book, it's gone, mainly because we've had a lot of health stuff going on with Jim. He had a lot of back and forth to hospitals in the last fortnight, and I've got to thank my girls for their help and their support and those things. Lots of cardiac traces, blood pressure monitors, blood tests, you name it. And so far, not all the results are back, but so far the ones that are back are manageable by maybe a wee bit of medication and lifestyle change. There will not be a Greg's sausage roll in this house for a long while. Nope. So that's quite good. We're still waiting on a big MRI, an Artemis scan or something like that. So this is a wee bit ongoing, and I found the last week and a half quite tiring. Obviously, there's worry there until you get results. And in the middle of it, I was sort of called in for results of tests, and my blood pressure was up a wee bit, which doesn't surprise me because of when it was taken, but when my blood pressure goes up, it triggers more kidney tests, so that should be happening this week as well, tomorrow maybe, but I don't know when this is going up. So it's been a busy kind of week or fortnight. Ooh. Oh, I thought we'd thunder, but it's probably just a big truck or a tractor. I can hear low noise. Oh no, it's just some sort of truck. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's all it's been really, and obviously all my hopes and dreams for getting on with the book kind of stalled a bit, but I have to come to terms with that. The book will be out when it's out, and I'm still aiming for April time, but I would need to get a few free weeks to get my head down and get it done. I would say we're probably 70% of the way there now, which is really good, and it's getting faster because a lot of the materials there. It's just me having to figure out how I want to talk about it and where to put it. And this, to be honest, this is the part of the book that most authors get so frustrated with. 60 to 70%. You're almost there, but you still see that there's hills to climb before you can get that sort of away to an editor or away to proofreaders or beta readers. This is a stage where every one of my books, apart from the first one, that I've struggled a bit with. So this wee break where I've been involved with health issues and stuff might actually be good, because I'll be going back to it with a fresh eye and a fervent desire to get on with it. So yeah, that's really it. Alexander's getting so big. He's just a joy. He's almost standing on his own at the moment. You know, he's standing beside chairs and stuff, and just a wee bit wobbly. I actually think he'll walk before he crawls properly. Very, very strong legs. But he's my darling. I absolutely adore him. We all had colds and stuff, so yesterday we FaceTimed, and it's the first time I'd FaceTimed with him really there with my daughter, and he was so involved. We were chatting back and forth, and you know, and it was absolutely fantastic. I actually got a shock of how good it was, and it felt good because rather than travelling with a baby with a cold and, you know, the sort of grandparents being a wee bit done in, the FaceTime and the sort of Skype FaceTime was actually lovely. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So if we're ever snowed in, at least I know there's still that communication that can be done, because my girls are very regular to come and visit. They really are, and they don't like it when they can't get through, but sometimes that's just life, you know. And if the snow doesn't stop, then my blood tests might not be going ahead tomorrow, but I really want them to be done. Anyway, so how are you? How are you? I've been watching a lot of you, and you know, if you're struggling, I've been giving you a wee bit of energy. I've been keeping everybody in my prayers at night, and I've still been having nightmares and night terrors, but to be honest, I kind of know what's happening there now. I think other people, I've seen other spiritual communities where people call these downloads, like downloads of information, and there is an awful lot of information and newness and things in these dreams, but there's the part of coming sort of back or whatever is still quite hard for me. So I know there's a reason for them, so I'm not prepared to shut them down as such. Plus I'm taking a note on my computer of all the different things that are happening in them, the different beings, the different things I'm seeing, and you know, I don't want to shut something down that, you know, other people would say, oh, that's amazing, that's what we want to hear and whatever, and I'm like, nope, I get scared. As I say, I'm not really scared of the aspects themselves. I just, that returning to the body thing is probably lethal for Jim, because I tend to punch out or kick or jump up the bed and hurt myself and occasionally hurt him. So it's not just about me, but I'm not gonna wish to stop these things because there's a lot of information coming in them. And if that's the way it's to be, that's the way it's to be. I've always noticed in my life when I was maybe spiritually moving up to a new plateau or moving forward, that it was always a dream time, always in the way shamanic dreams or journeys, and to be honest, that's what these are. It's just that when you plan a shamanic journey and you do the things that you need, and you've got all your, you've got your spirit animal and whatever, and you maybe do one shamanic journey, a big one, maybe a month or 2 months or a year, it's not a massive amount you would do. It would have to be for a reason. And to be honest, I feel as though I'm on shamanic journeys every second night, and that's been for about the past possibly a year and a half, but they're getting more regular. Instead of it being like maybe 3 or 4 a fortnight, it's like every second night or whatever. And I know when that happens that take all the information, because there's a reason for it. So although I call them say they're night terrors, they're more than that. There's a reason for them, and because of that, I'm happy to gather that information for whoever or whomever it may be for. I have no idea, but I am writing about it. I'm putting it down as much as I can remember. I've got voice to type now, and although the Scottish accent is ridiculous with it, it still is easier than maybe at 2 o'clock in the morning trying to type with sore hands. So that's great. So that's the position. I think I'm tired, and when I get too tired, I can't really control my pain so well, and that's another area. When I get pain like that, I have to distract. I have to just put on Outlander or something and just chill and give myself a break from, because when you meditate, you're opening up your senses as such, and if you're not journaling, if you're simply meditating, initially it can heighten the feeling of your pain, it can heighten tinnitus, it can heighten all sorts of stuff until you're through that barrier. So sometimes with pain, it's better to go and distract with like maybe a good book or a good movie, or rice pudding or something. It's important to not think that there has to be a spiritual answer to go and doing that. Sometimes it's simply that an earthy pursuit or an earthy thing is going to be the thing that controls the pain, rather than trying to be spiritual and collect the crystals and do this, that, and the next thing. Obviously, that's the balance of me being the sort of medicine woman and registered pharmacist. There's a time and a place for everything, and that's the balance I keep to in my life. By the time I do another coffee and chat, we should have more answers to the final bits of Jim's stuff. He's okay. He's 63 this year, and he's got to make some lifestyle changes that fit. He doesn't smoke, hasn't done for years, same here. We don't drink, apart from a glass of fizz at a celebration. But we both kind of like our sweeties, and that has to stop. It really does. And that will be I think I literally have got so much fruit in the fridge, it's unbelievable. I don't think we could possibly get through it all, but we'll get there. We're definitely both looking to, we eat well, we eat a lot of vegetables, we eat a lot of, it's kind of a Mediterranean way, and that's good, and it really is a very good way of doing it. Also with my kidney stuff, no salt, stuff like that. We do so well, but then we'll say, it's a Saturday night, let's have a cheesecake, or who wants a pudding or whatever. So it's things like that can be changed, and I'm looking forward to doing it. I really am. I think it will be good for both of us. So for the rest of today, I think I'm going to watch snow. No, I'll be editing, and tomorrow hopefully get out. If it's too snowy, I won't go. I'm too scared of falling, to be honest, and I'm too scared of Jim falling as well. We're very creaky. But we'll get there, and hopefully we've got some visitors at the weekend, which will bring a bit of joy. And but again, it depends, doesn't it? I used to, when I was doing my pharmacy training, I was put in sort of, for when we were doing sort of experiments. I was F in the register, and there was a chap, Mohammed Gahan, who was G, and we were put up together. I absolutely adored him. He was just a great big chap. But initially, I used to get a wee bit fed up with him, because I would say, right, we need to do this, I'll meet you in the library, blah blah blah, we've got stuff to do. And he would say, inshallah, or God willing. God willing, God willing, God willing. And at age 18, 19, 20, I was like, no, we're just going to do it. And I look back on him now, and kind of everything I do now, it's like, God is willing, universe willing, we will do this if possible. And I look back and I see that he had the right outlook all those years ago. Because he really did believe that things would get done and things would go forward only if they were meant to. And I understand that now. And yeah, he was right. So I will hopefully be back in a couple of weeks with, or even a week or so, with a new update coffee. And hope you're all okay. I know there's some really bad weather down in England at the moment. It seems to be getting the worst of it, and also so much flooding. And in the United States, and thank goodness that I think a lot of the fires are out in Australia now. We've got Vonda and Yvonne down under, and quite a few others. And thank you for occasionally taking my book to #1 in the USA Kindle, Australian Kindle. Fairchaft, thank you so much. So there's people all over the place. We've got people in Brazil, in France, in USA, in Alaska. Oh, a lot of Canadians on this channel. It's wonderful. Loads and loads and loads of Canadians. A lot of Irish. Quite a few from India. Oh, where else? There's some odd ones. I don't mean odd, but places that you think, oh really? Yeah, the Philippines. We've got a few in the Philippines as well. Obviously, we're over 12,000 subscribers, so I enjoy occasionally look to see where they come from, and it's mainly USA, Canada, and UK, Ireland, India, Italy, I think. In Australia, obviously. So yeah, it's fascinating. And sometimes you'll get down and there's one wee person in United Emirates of Arabia or whatever, and there'll be like another little person somewhere in a little country, or like 4 or 5 in Gambia, and I find it fascinating. I'm sitting here in a snowstorm in Scotland, saying this, having my coffee with you, and somewhere on the other side of the world, people are having their coffee or their tea with me. Isn't technology amazing? Oh, I can't get my head past it. I really can't. I had to tell my girls that when I started off in my first telephone when I was a wee girl, we actually had a party line on it. You could lift it up and hear a neighbour talking. You had to tell them to get off if it was an emergency. And we've gone from that in the 1960s to this today. So I'm always, in my prayers, believe it or not, I'm always thankful for technology and grateful for technology that's used for the greater good. And I believe that the way that we're using technology in this way is by far for the greater good. So anyway, that's my wee thoughts on it. That was a wee bit of a all over the place, but it's been that kind of week. So I love yous and leave yous, and let me know how you're all doing. Let me know if there's things happening that you need a wee bit of extra push for, or a wee bit of extra energy or extra prayer, you know, I'm always very, very happy to do that and add you to any lists I've got going, whether they're healing or motivation or whatever. So many blessings. Love yous. Bye.